Yo, what's up, my homies? This is Gangsta with a brand new video, and today I'm bringing you another Warships of World War II review. Yes, this time we're working on the Big Bad Woman, because ships are she's. I can't say Big Bad Boy because tonight was named after a man. So, but anyway, today I will be reviewing my personal favorite, the Bismarck. I mean, damn, this is one hell of a ship. Yeah, it's actually quite good quality. I managed to get it from Dubrake Smith. And it sort of is, or it sort of is, and sort of isn't. It's better than the Herd and the Amato. They kind of haven't half-assed done the job as much. Yeah, the masts are slightly a bit bent, but that's due to mass production. But other than that, she's fine actually, really. The flags, the German naval flag, were a bit off, but other than that, she's fine. And I look at this and I think, Jesus Christ. Hood went against this. I mean, damn. But anyway, so let me just tell you a little bit about Bismarck. There's an old song that we used to sing, joining war veterans. But in May of 1941, the war had just begun. The Germans had the biggest ship that had the biggest guns. The Bismarck was the fastest ship the world had ever seen. Got those guns as big as steers and those shells as big as trees. Out of the cold and foggy night came the British ship the Hood, and Bismarck, she fucked her up. Okay, no, that I changed. Sorry, I'm sorry. But yeah, but what happened was that Bismarck was built in 1941. Basically, what happened was that Hitler was like, he had the Scharnhorst, and several other ships like Prince Eugen. But what happened was that they were designed to take on the French. He wanted to take on the Navy, and he came up with this, right? And that what so what happened was that in reply, the Navy thought he was coming up with this, so they built another type of ship, which I'll go on later, which will be my next video. And actually, I'm doing a presentation at my Sea Cadet Corps on the ship. But anyway, so basically what happened was that he put Albert Speer in to design this. This is a Bismarck class battleship. Only two of these were built, the Bismarck and the Tirpitz. And she was built to basically eradicate anything off the face of the sea, literally. She was hell on earth. Just looking at her, the armaments were arm. They were really more powerful on her than on Hood. Yamato, she was made AA, just anti-air everything. Problem was that her bow and her stern were the weak points, but this literally had no weak points. I'm not joking, this had no weak points. Probably the only weak point would be a turning thing, but really that didn't matter. But anyway, I'll tell you what happened. So, Hitler, obviously, he went, right, that's it. Let's go. We're going to send Bismarck and Prince Eugen, which was an Admiral Hipper-class battlecruiser, out to go on and take part in a operation called Operation Rheinberg, or Rhine. Different people argue about what it's called, because each ship had a different code name for the mission, But Bismarck was under the command of Captain Lindemann, who was under the command of Admiral Luttingen, the Admiral of the German Navy. He was to go on the maiden voyage of the ship. So basically, Bismarck went off. What happened was that she went and stayed, I think it was Norway or somewhere, and I'll look it up. And what happened was that the Navy spotted her. I think they actually have the picture. Let me just check and see if they have the picture in here of her. But she was a brilliant ship. She was obviously designed to take on the Navy, and Hitler said, "Oh yeah, she's only not that big. She's not that big at all. We don't really care." No, they don't have a picture of her, unfortunately. Sorry, but what happened was that a Spitfire flying overhead, Mark 1 Spitfire, saw the two ships, and they opened fire at it and took a picture. And the one they identified as Prince Eugen, obviously. But then they saw this, and they thought, "What was that?" And then they realised that's Bismarck. So what happened was that the Navy instantly said, "I want to sink this ship instantly. This ship is the largest threat to our convoy to Britain, to the war." I think I'm actually breaking it as I speak now. No, I'm not. But anyway, and that's what happened. What happened was that, the Navy just sent out like a majority of their ships from Scotland, go to find Bismarck. But Bismarck, she was going to go break out into the Atlantic and just wreak havoc, sink all convoy ships coming from America, and that was it. And that would starve Britain and try and make them lose the war. So what happened was that the British said, "No, we're not having none of that." So they put their ships everywhere, just hoping, they literally covered all exits and pretty much what happened was that the two destroyers, Norfolk and the Suffolk, they spotted her and Prince Eugen. They followed her, and then Hood and Prince of Wales followed her, and this was when all hell broke loose. Can't be bothered getting HMS up now, but was that HMS Hood and Prince of Wales, they spotted her, and what happened was that they instantly, immediately opened fire. It was 10-mile distance they opened fire, and they kept on getting near misses to the Bismarck, and Admiral Lutyens went, no, it's not. Captain Lindemann, the captain of the ship, wanted to just say fire so desperately. He just really wanted to. But Admiral Lutyens, he was in the Navy in World War One. He was actually portrayed in the Battle of St. Bismarck, in the film St. Bismarck, as a Nazi lover, but actually he wasn't. He just did it for his country and for the Navy. And what happened was that he knew the sea. Captain Lindemann didn't know it as much as he did. And Admiral just was like, whatever, we're not going to return fire. The mission is sink the convoys. We're not risking our ship and our men. So basically what happened was that they continued firing, and they got so close that Captain Lindemann said, I will not have my own ship shot up from I will not have my own ship shot out from underneath my ass. And basically all the guns rotated on Bismarck and opened fire at Hood. And then all hell broke loose as Prince Eugen returned fire, and basically it was the four of them just duking it out, 2 battleships and 2 battle cruisers. It was like the best battle ever, like the battle of ages. And what happened, they were just shelling everywhere. The thing was that Bismarck had one major advantage. She was heavily armoured, powerful guns, and excellent rangefinders. Because what happened was that HMS Hood had brilliant side armour, but she didn't have deck armour. She wasn't equipped with very good deck armour. It was only 3 inches thick. That is nothing. A bullet could probably go through 3 inches. I don't know, but something could go through. A shell from this could go through 3 inches of wood, and that's what happened. What happened was that she was hit several times. HMS Hood, obviously, as I said in the previous video, and what happened was that they tried to close the distance to get the advantage, but Bismarck, what happened was that Vice Admiral Holland miscalculated, and Bismarck just sank her. After the 5th salvo shot, which is a round of shots fired from Bismarck, Hood went down. And then suddenly, it was Prince Eugen and Bismarck turned their sights on the Prince of Wales. And Prince of Wales was like, oh, hell no. And they were just duking out then. And what happened was that Prince of Wales managed to score 2 successful hits on Bismarck. Well, 3, 2. People different argue. But it was 2 really. Because what was that one shot from one shot that did damage to Bismarck from Prince of Wales was compartments. It flooded them, but it didn't really matter that much because she's a bigger ship. She can just pump it out. And the second one hit her fuel, and what happened was that she was leaking fuel slowly. And what happened was that Admiral Lutyens said, well, I'd rather go back and take the ship for repairs, really quickly, than just go out and risk it, because that fuel could affect us. We could run out of fuel all of a sudden, and our ship could be stranded or something like that. So Lutyens made the decision to return to port, and so Prince Eugen went off into the Atlantic. Lutyens went back, and what happened was that along the way, the British were absolutely furious, literally. And they went, right, that's it. And they sunk the Hood, we're going to sink this piece of shit. Sorry, language. We're going to sink the Bismarck. And so what happened was that, in return, they got HMS Ark Royal, dragged all the way from the Mediterranean, where it was all sunny, to somewhere where it was stormy and raining and horrible. And they said, right, we want a bunch of you guys with basically wooden and paper planes to go. And that's what everyone says. They were just, the Swordfish biplane is just a World War One type plane. It hardly had any metal to it whatsoever, and it was expected to sink this. So, and funny enough, they did. Well, they didn't sink it, but I'll tell you the story. So what happened was that Bismarck was trying to return home, and they just came at her, literally. And they just absolutely went, what happened was actually before, they actually got the wrong ship. They opened fire at a British ship. They thought the British ship was Bismarck, And then they all started launching their torpedoes, but they all launched them wrong because they were too high, so they just went in the water. And then they went, rah, 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 get your ass back to base now. And they were like, you stupid boys, that's not Bismarck, that's a British ship, go get her. And so they did it again. And some of them weren't hitting, some of them were hitting, a lot of them were missing. But what happened was that one, I don't know the pilot, sorry, but what happened was that he stuck his head out of the side and he said, not yet, not yet, not yet. And he said, let it go. And what happened was that he was waiting for the waves to come. So that if you drop it too soon, it would completely, just explode. If you dropped it at, like, when it's thingy, what it'll do is it will just dive. But he had it so it perfectly skimmed across and it hit Bismarck and it buckled her armour. She had side armour, but it buckled her plate armour. So she was slowly taking on water, And another shot, one lucky bugger, he got it right there. Literally, and that is the bane of all ships. Bane of all ships is a torpedo, as I said in my NASA video. And what happened was that it basically broke her rudder so she could only go in one direction. And she just basically did this. Essentially on the spot. But it was much larger. So basically she was just going around and around and around and around and around. But she was going somewhere. And the British actually lost her. And they thought, oh my god, that's it. We've lost her. But then miraculously, they sent a PBY plane. I don't know what Catalea plane, which was American type plane. They actually hired it from America. They could rebought it for a sec, and they sent it because it was sort of like a recon plane. And they found Bismarck at last. And what happened was that they went back, said she's there. What happened was that the British, they launched more attacks, kept on launching them time after time, gradually wearing it down, and then they realised that, well, I think it was actually on the second attack that they damaged the rudder, but what happened was that they realised she's just doing a big circle. And then what happened was that they got the entire British Navy to go and just basically surround her, and they just opened fire. And literally, all this was on fire. The top part of Bismarck was on fire, just fire everywhere. And the guns went out. Lindemann was killed when the shell hit the bridge, and so was Admiral Lieutenant. And what actually happened was that she was actually armed with a recon plane. They actually never used that. Because what happened was that, they sort of knew that they were going to lose the war. Well, not lose the war, but they were all going to die. So what they did was that they shoved all their, documents. It was supposed to be top secret, Bismarck, and they just basically smashed the windows of the plane and just pushed her overboard, and it just sank the plane. And what happened was that, I called the plane her then, and what happened was that, what happened was that he sent a message back to Hitler. Hitler said, oh yeah, happy birthday Germany, we'll wait for you when we get back. And what was that? Admiral Lundgren sent a reply saying, the reply was something like, I have been hit, we cannot return to port, we will fight to the last shell, Sieg Heil, long live the Reich. And basically, that was the last words heard from Bismarck. And what was that? The British just surrounded her, opened fire, they wiped out all the guns stopped working eventually. And, it was just hell everywhere. Literally, men were dying on deck, People below Bismarck, they thought, oh my god, the ship's going to sink, we've got to get out. They came up topside, just bodies everywhere, like one guy said. He just saw tons of bodies and etc. And what happened was that eventually the torpedoes came and they just torpedoed her and she rolled onto her. She rolled over. What happened was that it caused her cannons to drop out. And what happened was that she went down, but what happened was that she went down, her stern broke off, but that was a weak part of the ship actually. And she went down like it landed on a underwater hill, and which caused an avalanche, which she rode all the way down, which I found really cool. And she sits at the bottom of that hill. But what is so cool, and she's gone deeper than Titanic. But what's so cool is that she can actually be raised. Bambi says yes, raise it, because it would be so cool having, just having the Bismarck like what, But it's actually a war grave, so can't do that. But yeah, that's the thing. You see, there's a difference from finding a ship to take pictures of it and look at it, than finding a ship to just tear it apart. That's what they've done to a sister ship, the Turpix. But telling that, no, Prince of Wales, they've done that too, actually, bastards. But anyway, what is really cool is this picture I got with it. I didn't read the information in this or Yamato or HMS because I already knew the information. But yeah, this is what she looks so cool, doesn't she? She looks so badass. I'm gonna hang these on my wall. But she looks so cool. She looks so majestic. But anyway, I read out the stats of her. She wasn't actually as long as Hichimasa. They say that she was bigger, but she wasn't. She was actually 10 meters shorter than Hichimasa. So she was capable of traveling at 29 knots, relatively fast for a ship, actually quite fast for a ship. She had 440,000 horsepower. She had 8 308mm cannons, which were these bad boys. And she had 12 105mm cannons, which would have been these, the different ones that she had, slightly smaller ones, and she had 16 105mm guns. So they'd be like tiny ones. But it was just, yeah, but rangefinders, those were the advantage of her. You see, a lot of people would argue who would win in a fight, Yamato or Bismarck. Some people say different things, but people say Yamato, she's bigger, she's got more armor, she's got bigger guns, yada yada yada. Here's the thing. Yamato may have bigger guns, but Bismarck is faster by Yamato by a couple of knots. Now, I may not think that's not bad. It depends on the situation when you place it in. If they suddenly were right close to each other, Yamato would probably win. However, she didn't have as many secondary armaments as Bismarck had. By the time that, Bismarck didn't have as many anti-air guns than Yamato had, so you don't know. But maybe Yamato might win against Bismarck. I think it'd be really a stalemate if they fought head to head, but probably Yamato would win if it was like they sort of were really close together. However, if the Bismarck spotted Yamato at a distance, then Bismarck would turn her disadvantage into an advantage because she has a bigger turntable than that of Yamato and she is faster. So that means that and her rangefinders are longer of that of Yamato. She has more accuracy. She's like a sniper on the sea. Yamato is just basically like a minigun on the sea, essentially. The Bismarck is actually a machine gun with a sniper scope on the sea. So what could happen is that it could actually just circle Yamato and just bombard her and constantly circle her no matter what. Keep the distance complete. But I don't know, because in World of Warships, pretty much one-sided. But the guy who actually did the video of Bismarck versus Yamato in World of Warships, he just got Bismarck and he just rammed straight out of the Yamato. I'm like, do that. But anyway, moving on. Yep. Her water displacement was 50,900 tons. Her length was 250.5 meters. She had up to 355mm thick armor side. Damn, that's a lot. And she was 36 in diameter. That's really it. That's Bismarck for you, boys. So yeah, that's Bismarck for you. So really, she was essentially. I just can't wait to unlock her in World of Warships. That's all I can say. She's going to be a fantastic ship to use. She's going to be brilliant. She is the best battleship ever. Ever. Germans make really good stuff. Prince Eugen survived a nuke. They dropped a nuke on Prince Eugen. A nuke, out of all things, and she survived that. So pretty much the Germans, they made tons. They invented the first jet engine. The Me-262. That was a jet engine powered fighter plane. They invented the first jet engine bomber, the HO. That was a huge bomber with engines. They invented tons of stuff. They invented the first missile, V1, V2. They managed to get rockets into space, for crying out loud. The guy actually made the V-whatevers. He actually helped with the Apollo program. He got them on the moon. And so did Einstein. Einstein's a German. And he was brilliant as well. So, and don't you dare say that he was whatever. He had to leave the country because he didn't. And don't forget Heisenberg, the guy who makes drugs. No, I'm joking. But actually, I worked program on Heisenberg. Actually, was really wrong. He didn't make a nuclear bomb at all. It failed. Actually, he purposely miscalculated so that the Germans would lose the war. Yeah. But anyway, they actually could have won the war to a certain degree, but. Let me just go through the mistakes. Let's see. Invading Russia, declaring war on America, putting all your faith in Italy, trying to restore Benito Mussolini into a nation that hates him, because... I'm sorry, it's just so funny what happened. Part of me says it's funny what happened, Mussolini part of me says it is. what happened was that the king of Italy wasn't happy with Mussolini and with people, so he went, I sentence you to jail. So he sent Mussolini to a hotel jail. And what happened was that Hitler was furious and went, I want him here now! So what happened was that Hitler sent all his SS, a special air squadron, to go get Mussolini, take him back to Germany, and then send be like, oh yeah, good, and then back to Italy, to rally up men, take back the country, and win the war down by Italy. And you know what happened? You know what happened? He was found in a shed with his wife. They took him out. They hung him upside down by his feet. They shot him in the head, and they threw his body in the street. Because that is what people can do. Literally. That's why they lost the war, because Russia had tons of those people. They were so mean at Stalingrad that the Russians wanted their heads on sticks. Everyone wanted their heads on sticks. It was actually given out the order, kill all SS. I'm not joking, all of them. Not every single one of them. So pretty much we all did bad stuff during the war. The SS were bad though. But the other rank brigade, now that's not, I'm just joking. But no. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here. And join me next week where we'll be doing the Prince of Wales, which is actually the name of our secret unit. I don't know if they're actually watching. They could be watching actually. So, but yeah. But they noticed that I have a really good information of ships. I'll explain about how I started Titanic, found a book on it, and I thought, damn, that's a and I was like, what's that? And it was like, shipwreck of what? Titanic. Oh, and I was free actually at the time. And what happened was that it kind of expanded from there. I was like, well, how can that black and white picture turn into that in the sea? And it was like, you know, and the film Titanic was actually on a couple of days after I found out about it. I watched film Titanic, and I was like at the age of 3, but I can still remember it, and it's so brilliant, you know. And she's my number 1 ship of all time. Bismarck is number 2. It was really highly debatable between Bismarck and HMS Hood. HMS Hood is number 3 because Bismarck is so powerful in comparison to HMS Hood, and she's so beautiful. She just looks so beautiful in comparison. HMS Hood was like, but Bismarck, she looks so beautiful in comparison. You know, that camouflage. I have a tender that I'm going to call the Hindenburg, and I'm going to give it the same paint scheme as the Bismarck. But anyway, but yeah, that's where, and basically it kind of expanded my knowledge of ships from there. But anyway, join me next week or next time, not next week, depends. Join me next time as I will be reviewing the Prince of Wales, which was the King George V class battleship, which fought against her. And I actually might do a whole Battle of Bismarck situation, because of what happened. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm going to end this video here, and as always, peace out my homies.